Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Anita on Real Woman Revealed. I'm back here today talking about level 2 leadership. Just a quick recap from last week. We talked about level 1, and on level 1 we talked about it being a positional position where people had to follow you. Not because they wanted to, but because you had the right to be the leader, because you were promoted, and they have to follow you because you have the title. This week we're talking about level 2 leadership. And with level 2 leadership, you want to form a relationship with your people. You want to have their permission to lead them. And in doing that, you have to connect with them. Also have some sort of a mutual admiration for each other. You want to find something that you have in common with them. You want to ask them about their personal life. You want to ask them about their children, their family life. What do they like to do? Are they, surfers? Are they hikers? You want to ask something personal so that you know that you can have a conversation with them outside of work, which turns into a work conversation. Okay. Now, you just don't like your boss, unless you had a relationship. And I know, once again, there's some people out there that have had bosses that they work for that you just don't like. Why don't you like them? Because they were just not good bosses. They might have been good company people, but not good people. A good boss listens to their people. They listen, and as you're walking through the office, not only are you listening, but you are actually looking around, knowing where your people are, what they're doing. So that's one way that a good boss is recognized, because if you are mindful of what your people are doing, they know that you care about what they do. We can't bark out orders and expect people to appreciate us. They get the job done, but at the end of the day, as they say, it's lonely at the top. It will be lonely at the top. But then the saying is that if it's lonely at the top, you're not a leader. You're actually a hiker, because you're hiking by yourself, and you're the only one that's going to get to the top of that mountain, and nobody is going to be following you. So, again, in order to be a good leader, you have to build a relationship, and you have to get the permission of your people. Number 2, you need to have the right attitude to serve. You have to love to serve, and you have to just serve. Because if you think you're above something, your people are going to think that they're above it as well. You have to do, like we talked about in level 1, you have to lead by example. So that means you've got to do these things in order for your people to want to do these things for you. If they see you standing around at the water machine, drinking coffee all day, not getting any work done, and then rushed at the last minute kind of get things done, they're going to do the same thing. So you want to lead by example by showing them the work is the first things first, and then we can have some fun after that. And you always want to reward your people by thanking them, little rewards, like maybe bringing treats or donuts in. A box of donuts go a long way in any office. I don't care what job you have. A box of that sugary, gooey, chocolatey, sprinkly, cinnamon glaze goes a long way in any office. People do what they see, not what you say. People do what they see, not what you say. Our kids, we be like, do what I say, do. You get over there and sit down. Be quiet, watch TV, your dinner's ready, come and eat. And then when they grow up, you'll find that you have a lot of more little bosses in the house, right? Well, instead of having leaders in the house, and you want leaders, you don't want bosses, you want leaders. And so therefore, your people will recognize that in you when you ask and you don't tell. As we talked about in the first level, you ask and you don't tell. And the only way that you can ask is by having the permission to ask. You build that relationship, and it's so vital that you build a relationship with your people. First things first, you have to do it. It's the I do it mentality first. I got to do it, and when I do it, my people are going to see me doing it, and therefore they're going to follow suit and they're going to do it. It's kind of like reproducing yourself. So it's like, if you want to say, it's like having a lot of mini-me's running around, but you want to reproduce yourself, because what you do, your people are going to do as well. Step 2 is you're going to do it with them. So when you see them getting involved in doing a task, assignment, you want to be able to go right in there and try to brainstorm with them. Ask some questions, try to help out, get some feedback on a better way that we can get the job done, because it's not just you that can come up with ideas. That's how you form a relationship, with feedback with your people as well. Then you become their mentor. You become their coach. You also, want to open up to questions from your people. If you can answer questions from your team because you're thinking that, they're trying to test you, or, somebody trying to see what your knowledge is, or somebody trying to get all the information so they can get your job, you will never be a good leader, because it doesn't matter what you have. No one can ever take away what it is that you have. And it's like teachers. Teachers build leaders. Your children go to school to learn ways to lead. It doesn't make that teacher any less of a teacher. It doesn't diminish her skill in any way. So don't hold back. Let your people know that you trust them enough to give them some good information to be able to be great leaders, so that when you are not there, or when you are too busy with other little menial duties around the office, that somebody else can step up and get involved and help out. Now, finally, you want to find ways to connect with your people. And as I think about a good connector, I could say that I think that Jesus, he is a good connector. He connected with people, whether you think it was a good connection or a bad connection, but there was always a connection that made people say, what if? He was always able to bring that doubt if it wasn't right. And that's why, I think a lot of people are condemned when you bring up the name, but that name is not for condemnation, it's for salvation. So, connecting with people. Jesus had the ability to relate to and identify in such a way that it increased his influence with people. There's 3 thoughts of connecting. The first one is you have to think about others. You always have to be humble and think about other people. When you think about others, now you're giving to them, you're connecting to them, you're allowing them to give you the permission to lead them. You're forming a relationship with them. Energy. You have to have the energy that they can see you doing what you say that you want them to do, leading by example, by having the energy to get the job done, rolling the wheel, patting out the dough, making it happen, bringing home the donuts. And the third one is finding common ground with your people. Lead a person to a higher level of themselves. You want to lift people up to make them feel important in their position. You want to make them feel that you appreciate them. You want to thank them. You want to say it on a regular basis. Thank you. Congratulations. You want to ask questions. You don't want to tell. And again, I was watching a video of John Maxwell, and he was the one that I actually kind of borrowed this from. Jesus was a great connector, and then you can't think of anybody else that was as fluent in connecting with people as Jesus Christ, because the Bible is the best-selling book ever. Okay? Now, with John Maxwell, he has the ability to take a Bible principle, not put a verse with it, but teach the principle, and then he allows God to speak to the heart. So that is what I look up to, a mentor like that, where I can take the word, the Bible principles, because everything that we do is based on a Bible principle. I don't care what you do, you can go to the Bible and you'll find it. Even for the people that are don't believe or non-believers, check it out and you'll see what I'm saying. But we're talking about level 1 and level 2 leadership. Level 1 being the right, having the position. Level 2 having the permission and forming the relationship. All right, guys. Again, with comments at the bottom, feedback. Please subscribe to The Real Woman Revealed with Anita on YouTube. And like I always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. And we'll see you on the flip side. So have a blessed day and put some of this to work. I guarantee you, once you start getting into this, you're going to see a change in your people. Hey, you're going to see a change in yourself.